All right, so we're here at Phantom. Wait, this isn't a fireworks store. One sec. So we're here at Phantom Fireworks in Roberts, Wisconsin. This is right off of Interstate 94, exit 10, and then there's like two roundabouts you have to go through on the left. Go through those, past the Dollar General, you come down to a place called Miller's Corner, and the fireworks store is situated right here next to the gas station. I've been coming to this very fireworks store since I was about 7 years old. And when I was a lot younger, this place used to have what's called a buy one, get one free deal on literally everything in the store. They no longer offer that, however, but they do have some coupons, some buy one, get two deals, but it is no longer buy one, get one free throughout the entire store. That's kind of a bummer, but we're still gonna go in there, get a tour of the store, show you guys all the prices, and of course, pick a bunch of stuff out to shoot off when we get back home. So let's go on in. So here we are inside of Phantom Fireworks. We came through the front entrance by the registers, and what we're gonna do is show you the walls of the store before we cover a lot of these middle aisles. So over here on this wall on the far side of the store, you can see we have a couple cakes up front for $259.99, and this goes on for a little while. We've got things like Wickedly Awesome, Fandemonium. We've got this one here called Hypersonic Accelerator. Lots of classics I'm noticing, like The Beast Unleashed. We've got Strategic Air Defense and Flip Flop Fly by Brothers. Then we got a random $200 cake there, but then the rest going forward are $179.99. A couple like Witchcraft, CodyBPyrotechnics, hope I'm saying that right. Three-pronged attack. We've got some here that are for $170 even. Laser Blitz, Honor Duty Service, Wonderstruck, I'll be picking that one up. Molten Core, Pyro Pulverizer, these are all classics. Then the $150 cakes here, such as the Fat One, Fighting Rooster, Fortress of Fire being the last $150 cake, and now some 140s like Gallantly Streaming. We've got Johnny Be Good, that's a classic from my childhood. Untamed Retribution, Mega Mojo, Pyrotechnic Motherload, New York Salute Finale, and then we've got some 130 even cakes like Singularity, The Heat Is On, Bold Colors. We've got the Sunshine State, Crown Brocade Classic, Tropic Thunder, Vertical Velocity, Parrot's Prattle, Burst and Bloom, and then some 120s here on the end, such as Crown Jellyfish, Voodoo Devils, Zoomin' and Boomin'. I kind of like the name on that one. We've got Illuminite, Geomagnetic Storm, Rain of Fire Premiere. That's a nice one. Remember lighting that off in a video, I think 2-3 years ago. Popo Magnet, Bombilation. That's another interesting name. We've got the Phantom X7. I will be picking that one up as well. We've got Wizard of Oz, and then a couple here at the end for 110, such as Highfalutin and Hit the Road Jack. There's even more over here for 109. Polar Vortex is one of them. Urban Warrior, Aerial Avalanche, Tunguska Blast. Then someone for $100 even. Then as we turn around from that aisle of 500 gram cakes, there are some shopping carts here and another register station, I guess, in that back room. I assume they only open that up when it's during season. Over here, a continuation of 500 gram cakes, but these ones for $90. You can see things like Neon Frenzy, Red, White, and Boom, Crack the Sky, Strobe Spectacular. I've tested pretty much all of these. Golden Pyro Fusion, that's a good one. And then just to the left of that, we have another outer wall of the store, and this one is dedicated to canisters and ball shells. You can see we're back to that $259.99 price tag on a lot of these, such as the Wolfpack double break shells. I'll be picking those up. We've got the high performance canister shells there by in-house brand of Phantom. Grand Jury by Brothers, Pro Shell by Mega Banger. We've got the Lock and Load Barely Legal 5-inch canister shells. And then we've got the original Exterminators just to the left of that. I think to this day I have yet to do a demo on that kit. And as you can see, it's $259. Now, as you can see, the price really increases here on the ammunition armory. This one here is 800 bucks, but you can see an assortment of canister shells and ball shells, it looks like. And then coming over here to, I guess, another outer wall, this is gonna feature a lot of fountains. And we wanna do, you know, the perimeter of the store before we focus on those center aisles. And I'm just gonna get some shots here of some of these fountains. There's so many of them, I won't be able to name them all, but we've got some tank fireworks there, some aerial spinner novelty type things, some parachute items here on the left, and then of course just to the left of that and above we have even more novelties like smoke bombs, a couple small assorted packs of aerial spinners here, and those are like $4, not bad. Artificial satellites there for $5. We've got the spaceship and the stack attack night planes. So those are always fun. You know, you just light them one at a time. They are the fireworks that spin up into the air and don't really have a break, but they're just fun to enjoy before you do the big stuff. The Look Spider Sky there for 15. We've got some double night parachutes. The Magic Crystals, kind of an all-time favorite there. We got some tanks with report, whole case of those for 20 bucks. We've got B Basiled there, it's a little fountain. T-Force, another tank style firework. Some Intruder Hornets, and those are, again, aerial spinners. Some cone fountains here. We've got more parachutes, 7-color parachutes with flares. The number 500 Trooper single shot tube, that's another big parachute. Some larger Morning Glory and Sparkler type items here at the top. And below that, we've got some smaller assortment packs, $45 for that one there. And these are all just like your standard novelty generic type fireworks. More sparklers, so absolutely zero shortage of these things at Phantom. I mean, just look at this. It's almost like half of an entire aisle just dedicated to these sparklers, which is pretty crazy. Some Morning Glories there, and even more types of sparklers here at the end. Below that, we've got a ton of novelty type assortments there featuring things like fountains and smoke balls. We've seen it all before. A couple of unusual daytime fireworks here, like some lanterns. They kind of go up into the sky, but don't really have a break. You just kind of light them and they float up there. We've got numbered sparklers, and next to that we've got the classic gold ones. There's a bucket there, again, full of sparklers. And now taking a look at some of these, I guess, rows, they're not quite big enough to be an aisle. Up at the front of the store, you can see just a handful of different novelty type fireworks. This is probably the stuff they just don't have enough stock of to put on the shelves we were just looking at. So yeah, just some very standard novelty type things. You've got fuse there if you need any. Some of those pull string fireworks. You know, if you want to fuse up those shells, you're going to need some fuse, which you can obviously get at this store. We've got some mini Roman candles, some 200 strips of firecrackers, snakes. This is where you find all that good stuff that you just have to have on the 4th of July, even if you're doing all the big cakes. Wolf pack snaps, the tornadoes, those are a lot of fun. They spin around and make this weird sound on the ground. These aren't really fireworks, they're more like toys. So they've also got a shopping cart full of those at the front of the store. Not gonna lie, that slam rocket looks kind of cool. Over here, just a continuation. Again, we're still at the registers. Lots of novelties, ground blooms. We've got some jumping jack packs, whatever those are on the right, and then some mini 1-inch artillery shells there. At the top, you know, you've got your crackling balls and the champagne party poppers and some 24 strips of firecrackers there. Here's another cart full of, I guess, firework themed toys. I saw some light up frisbees. They have a whole section here dedicated to gender reveal. Now this is where the firework is going to produce one singular color, and whether that's blue or pink, you have to decide. If you want to do your gender reveal with fireworks, at least it's cool that they have some options here for you, such as the Phantom Blue if you're having a boy, or the Phantom Pink if you're having a girl. Now, to give you a sense of where we're at in the fireworks store, you'll notice that we're now looking towards the aisles, and we were just covering the exterior walls over there by the 500-gram cakes. But now we're going to show you these 3 or 4 kind of end of the aisle sections. Right there you've got some assortment packs, those kind of sparkler-like hybrids, and then even more assorted novelties, just a ton of these things going around. There's a whole section of them here at the bottom too, with some mini fountains in there and whatnot. And at the bottom it's the same thing, cone fountains, party poppers, just stuff you want to have during the daylight. Right here we've got one called Sky Shooter. That's like a Saturn missile battery, I believe. I could be kind of wrong on that, I'm not sure, but it is 100 shots, so I have to assume. There's a couple small rocket packs and even some missile packs here at the top, which is kind of cool. More football type toys here. I love how they just have these bins randomly throughout the store. It's kind of funny. Down here we've got some more daytime stuff and a baseball bat fountain, which I've actually done a video on my channel before, but it wasn't the Phantom one. Now this one here, that Light of Liberty, I'm going to be picking one of those up. We got the red, white, and boom, the 9 gunner mates, the red, white, and blue fountain, and some Saturn missile batteries. And on top we have all these different artillery shells. And then that is going to conclude, you know, those aisles, I guess, end of the row sections. And now we've pretty much covered the entire exterior of the store. So going back to aisle number 1 here, we've got some NOABs for $330, such as Legion of Fire, Willow Finale Rack. This is really where you're gonna notice things get kind of expensive. Some smaller NOABs, I guess they don't really perform any differently, but for some reason they're cheaper at $259.99 versus the $300 price tag we saw on the left. Mars retrograde there. We've got the 3-inch brocade finale rack. Thermobaric warheads, I'll be picking that up for the first time. Flower power, and this one's improved, it says. So that's another 9-shot NOAB. We've got a random one there, Willow Spectacular for $200, and it goes right back up to $259 on that one on the end. But those are essentially all your NOAB style fireworks. And by the way, NOAB stands for 9 on a board. And moving over here, we've got the start of many firework assortments that we're gonna see. So this one here is called the Supreme Finale Assortment, and that one there is gonna cost you $300. For $270 right next to it, you can get this one here, which is the Phantom Nation Assortment. We've got Ammunition Armory again for $800, and this is in different packaging than the one we saw on the far side of the store. $180 for Battle of Yorktown. I've tested that on the channel, as well as the Tube Finale Assortment. I've got videos on both of those. And then to the right of that, we've got just a Uncle Sam assortment. I don't know that I've done a video on that one, but it sounds oddly familiar there for $270. We got the New Yorker here for $250. I think that's a lot more than I paid for it back in the day, but I do also have a video on this assortment. And then this one here is called the Fire Blast assortment, and this one I definitely have not tested on the channel, but inside it looks like you get a ton of classics. A bit spendy though on that one. Niagara Falls, I'm going to be picking this one up because this is one of the only cheaper assortments I haven't done a video on. And then there's the Aerial Barrage. I will also be purchasing one of these. In fact, you guys may have already seen the video on that. Now, there's this weird box here on the end called the Thunderfest Finale. You get 13 cakes inside, so that's kind of like a cake assortment. And then we have another one here called the Phantom Classic, another cake assortment that I have done a video on. The Aerial Arsenal Shell Kit for $600. I have not featured that one, or the Fortress Stronghold there for pretty much $1,000. Man, I can't even imagine. There's got to be a ton of shells in there. I've done this one, the 500-gram Classic there for $400. We've got the Max, which contains the Komodo 3000, real popular firework there, for $750. That's like a Brothers and Phantom exclusive. This one here, Grounds for Divorce, and that one looks like it goes for $750 as well. Right next to that, we've got another $750 here. That's just Phantom and Brothers assortment. We've got the Phantom Elite right here. and that is $700, so a little cheaper than the ones on the left. This one here, holy moly, another $1,000 for this bad boy. Get the party started. It features, 12 of their best performing cakes, I guess. Haven't tried that one. For $500, right next to that, we have another assortment for $600 called the Thunderhawk, and that's what that one looks like. Aerial Madness, the last assortment in line, I will actually be picking up by Mega Banger Fireworks for $500. Gotta try it out. I don't do a lot of Phantom assortments in general, so it'd be nice to test that one out. We've got the Neath the Red, White, and Blue cake, Bait and Hook, Triton Tempest, Big and Bad by Winda, some kind of classic 200-gram cakes here on the end of this aisle. Blue Ringed Willows, I've tested that one, it's pretty nice. Enchanted Forest, that must be like a 200-gram hybrid. We've got Walloping Warheads there. I remember watching the video of that thing when I was a kid and I always wanted it. Emerald City there, that's a classic, I've lit that one off before. Some more light up balls, and then to give you an idea where we're at, that is what we just covered, the NOABs, the NOAB section obviously right there. And then at the start of the NOAB aisle, we've got some Sea Sparrow missiles, some missile assorted packs, Saturn missile batteries, so lots of missile items here. That's your 25-shot classic right there. We've got air defense, that must be like a 200-gram version of the Saturn missile battery. We've got Prismatica, that's kind of a cool label, not sure what that one does, and a 750 shotter right there at the bottom. Turning the corner here, we're gonna be taking a look at the rocket aisle. There's gonna be a lot of them here. I won't be able to call out every name, but lots of larger style rockets here, like the Big Burst, the Cloud Buster. We got the Crackling Octopus rockets, which I will be picking up a pack of there for $55. Fat Splat rocket pack. We've got Speed of Light. That's a $35 rocket pack. We've got Smile More rockets. That's a Roman Atwood. I think he's a YouTuber, so that's part of his line. I think he's also got a NOAB somewhere in the store, but I didn't see it. If you want to buy some rocket launchers to help fire these things, they also sell those. And then of course at the bottom we just have a whole bunch of other rockets, some rocket assortment packs here. These things, they're like a shell rocket. We've got the Lucky Space. These things I always say are kind of a ripoff because there's never any powder in that big tube there at the top, and that's supposed to be like the size of a canister shell, so you would think it would break really loud, but it really doesn't. Phantom assorted rockets there. We've got the Poco Loco rockets. You get 4 of those in that pack. Display shell rockets here. I think those are going to be a lot like Lucky Space. We've got some Dominator Fireworks bottle rockets, and of course all of your different boxes and grosses of bottle rockets, like the Whistling Moon Travelers. I believe you get 144 of those per pack, and the Howling Wolf pack rockets there too in the middle. We also have, just all of these different assorted packs of rockets, and a lot of these don't have the name shown since they're sideways, so I'll do my best to get you some shots here of the prices. I've tested those Fierce Tiger rockets before on the channel. We've got some 4-ounce rockets, some Wolfpack Jumbos, the all-time classic Clustering Bees rocket, the Butterfly rocket, and the Blue Streak rocket. Those are all rockets that have been out for an incredibly long time, and they're even reusing the same packaging. Now, back to where we started here, we've got another one of these little start of the aisle type rows featuring some 200-gram cakes like Eye Candy, July 4th Celebration, House Rocker, that's kind of a weird one, Thermal Expansion, I'm not sure if I'm saying a lot of these right. Oh, that's July 4th Jubilation, so that one there I have actually tested before on the channel. And one thing here with the 200-gram cake aisle, you'll notice that each one of these rows has the exact same product as the one adjacent on top and on the bottom. So we really only have to show you, one section to get you a shot of literally everything in this aisle. So these, again, 200-gram cakes, like Fiery Discus, I have tested that one before. We got the 12-shot 50 cal, the Silver Sonic Warhead, cascade of color. I have literally shot off pretty much everything you're looking at. Scatterbug, I'm going to be picking that one up because I haven't seen that one before. Golden Fox, we've got Land of the Free, Patriotic Palms there for $35. Eye of the Storm, I'm going to be getting this for my storm chasing video, which I haven't really done yet, but I try to get you guys a video on storm chaser lights, fireworks type thing every year. And yeah, Hootenanny there, that's kind of a funny one. And then moving on, we've got some more of these whatever these things are, like bubble blasters, I don't know. They got a lot of like firework themed toys in the store, I've noticed. Again, we got more magic crystals. This looks like just a continuation of the entire novelty section. This is all kind of overstock, what you're looking at, because we've pretty much seen all of these little assorted packs already. There's the baseball bats. Again, we saw those in the front of the store. Moon Dance Premier Fountain. I think I've tested that one and it's pretty decent. We've got a sword here. This is a handheld firework there at the bottom. And we're just gonna do a full 180 here, and you can see we have another one of those end of the aisle sections, this time with some color pearl type items. These are the real generic, you know, nothing too crazy. It's basically like if you took 10 Roman candles, tied them together and lit them all off. That's what a lot of these do. 50 shot ammo box, I think that's like the one by Winda, where it's got little reports up in the air. We've got the Happy Fireworks and a couple like 150 gram cakes that are actually on a base. Emerald City, Red, White, and Boom. I thought that was a daytime cake, but I could be wrong on that. And the Mighty Cobra, it's a crackling comet cake there on the bottom. Entering back into the rocket aisle, on the other side this time, we've got even more 200 gram cakes. Same situation as the last row. We only have to show you one of these little rows up here on the top to get you what they're selling in the entire row. So for example, like Wicked Pizzazz there, it goes all the way from the top to the bottom. So you're not missing anything as we're just showing you this one row. Wall of Willows is a pretty good one, if I remember right. They're selling it for $45. Bling Bling, kind of the first 200 gram cake to introduce multiple tube sizes, so you have some small ones and large ones. Electric Jellyfish there, that's an attempt at a jellyfish break. I've actually lit that off before. We've got the Midnight Monsoon here, Skeeters, Solar Explosion, and then over there to the left of Solar Explosion we have the Palm Pyro, I'm noticing. And I've also lit that one off. Machine Gun Shell, I can't remember if I've done a video on that or not, but these are all 45 bucks. Saloon Showdown there, a 12 shotter, and you can see that little thing that lists all their top 10 200 gram cakes. So now we're back at the start, and we're going to be taking a look at this aisle here, which is aisle number 3, Roman candles, firecrackers, and mortars. We'll take a look at the artillery shells first, and they do sell mortar racks here, which is nice, and they're also high density polyethylene tubes. So that's even better than fiberglass. Top quality mortar racks if you care to pick any of those up with your shells. Again, these are all stacked from top to bottom. So by showing you one little row here, again, we're not missing anything. We've got Whistling Buster, kind of a generic standard shell kit. The Wolf Pack shells, I've got a video on those from a few years back. Standard artillery shells, we've got the Mini Bomb, the Panorama. These ones here, the Skyfest Panorama, I also have a video on those, and I think it's in the same video as the Wolfpack shells. We got the Gold Standard, Unleash the Beast, which is actually a little play on their 500 gram finale cake, so you can also get the shell kit and shoot them at the same time if you care to do that. We're gonna jump past this little middle section here and go straight into some more of these artillery shells, which as you can see, it looks like they're getting a little bit better as we go. These ones are a little bit more expensive here, so I have to assume they perform better, like the Wolfpack Double Star shells. We've got the Radical Recoil shells. Don't think I've tested those. These Nishiki ball shells, I will be picking those up and comparing them to the canister shell version to see which one is better, if one is better at all. They could very well perform the same. We got the Dream Team 12 there, Maximum Power, some Boom shells by Mega Banger, the Bomb Cyclone shells, I've also done a video on those, as well as the Nishiki can shells that are sitting right next to it. It looks like we have a half kit of lock and load there, so 12 of those types of shells. If you wanted to get the half pack, I'm sure it's half the price. This X3 triple break shells, I will be picking that up for the price of 180 bucks, and that is going to conclude the artillery shells. But turning right around, we've got all these Roman candles, and much like the rockets, not a lot of the labels are going to be showing here, but I'm still going to get you shots of every price for every product in the store. This is another aisle where they do that thing where it's just overstock on each shelf. So everything continues going down. So if we're looking at, for example, that green pack of Roman candles there on the right, you'll see it continues all the way to the bottom, if you guys were confused what that means. But yeah, these are the Roman candles, lots of, 5-packs and 6-pack variants, and each one is gonna do something like 5 to 8 shots. Some of them are even 10-ball Roman candles, but yeah, all the classics. You gotta have the Roman candles and you gotta have the rockets. Speaking of stuff you gotta have, these single shots here are actually pretty nice. A lot of them are in that finale assortment we took a look at earlier, but they go up, and it's basically like if you were to rip a tube off of one of their NOABs. These are the types of breaks you're getting. So larger than artillery shells, larger than cans. This one here, the power pack assortment, I have done a video on that. We're going to be picking up the double break, and we're also going to be picking up this nuclear bomb here by Megalodon Fireworks. That one there retails at $120, but the thing is super heavy. I picked it up earlier, so excited to see what that does. Now we're moving on to, this end of the aisle thing again, and in here they've got the fiery frog fountains. I'll be picking this one up, the spring fling. Some stuff that spins like the Hypnotica wheel. And then this one here I've tested on the channel before too. And the one below that, we will be buying one of these. And the one next to that I don't think we're gonna get. That's the ultimate tank. But anyway, just a lot of fountain type fireworks that spin around sort of like a pinwheel. So there's all your Roman candles. There's the 2 middle sections we covered. And coming back to where we started, we've got firecrackers. Tons of different bricks. We've got these Wolfpack cannonballs. Those are a lot of fun. I have a video coming on those soon. M98s, silver salutes. These are all classics. We had them when we were kids, drop them in the pond or the little puddle and they make a splash. Waterproof fuses, so you gotta try it at some point. Wolfpack boxes here that have like a ton of firecrackers in them. And then of course the strips. These are always a classic. So that one, there's a 400 strip for $8. We've got a 100 strip right there. Next to that, we have a 200 strip for $4, and some more of the silver salutes there on the end. Larger bricks here towards the bottom. That contains a bunch of different packs of firecrackers. No, these are not the original Thunderbomb brand firecrackers, but Wolfpack kind of did their own label there. A larger brick of those Wolfpack crackers and a larger brick of the Thunderbombs here for $40. Below that, we've got the large rolls. That's 250 bucks for that, but you get like 16,000 firecrackers and some ones there with a large fuse sticking out of the top. I'm actually here to tell you that you do not light it there at the green part. I have a video explaining this, so if you want to check that out, just look up the firework that nobody ever buys. And you should find my video on YouTube showing you those larger roll style firecrackers and how you actually light them. So that's the end of that aisle. But over here, we've got another section with some canister shells there on the top, Ultimate Fourth. Done a video on that kit. Below that, we've got the 5-inch Black Cat shells. I've done a video on those. We have the Exterminator shells, and that's kind of unusual. They're not the ones by Mega Banger. Over here, we've got the last aisle in the store. This is going to contain all the fountains. And like every aisle we've seen so far, all these rows are stacked. So we only have to show you the row on the top here to get you a shot of all the products in this entire aisle. Flaring Stars fountain for $17. We've got a assortment of cone fountains there, the soda pops for $25. Over here, we've got Serenity. That's kind of an all-time Phantom exclusive firework. We got the War Fountain. I think that one's been out forever. happiness fountain with some eyeballs there. I would assume they flash when they go off. We got the Wild West fountain, Moon Dance fountain, core reactor. I have actually tested quite a few of these. We're going to be picking this one up, the point and shoot. It's like a camera shaped firework. I'm assuming that'll also have some sort of flashing effect as well. Those are the spinning fountains we already showed you. We got the Gingerbread Man by Brothers Pyrotechnics. Lots of stuff in this aisle, but again, like the other one, we only have to get you a shot of this top row here to show you everything that is inside the aisle. Illuminati Triangle, we got Sea Serpent, this is Funky Monkey. We've got the Festival of Lights, Peacock Fountain. That one is kind of a cool one, and I've tested that in a video before, but I couldn't even begin to tell you what the name of that video is. You're gonna have to hunt this down. I do have a playlist dedicated to when I do light off phantom fireworks, because it is kind of a special occasion around here. I live 800 miles away from the nearest store. Komodo 3000 fountain there. I will do my best to link that somewhere in the video. So if you guys want to find all this stuff I've been showing and watch my demo videos on it, it'll be easy for you to find. All right, well, that was Phantom Fireworks. Pretty expensive, but pretty excited to see some of the stuff I picked out. And of course, that's what we're gonna do immediately after this. I bought a whole bunch of stuff from the store. I've been coming here since I was 7. Now let's go to the gravel pit and shoot all of this stuff off. Take a look at these fireworks. I got the Komodo 3000 and the thermobaric warhead there. Really excited for that one. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed my store tour of Phantom Fireworks in Roberts, Wisconsin. Remember, this place is only 40 minutes away from the heart of Minneapolis. So all you Minnesota guys can definitely go to this store and pick up all of these fireworks that go up in the air. I know that might be a strange concept for you guys that live in Minnesota, but you can totally just go across state borders and get this stuff that literally goes up in the air and creates the firework displays that we all know and love. So I picked out a selection of fireworks that I thought would be cool to shoot off at the end of this video. Now, even though I picked up more fireworks from the store, these are just a handful of the ones I wanted to feature in the video. Over here, we have the Palm Pyro Pageantry Premiere. Lots of P's. This is a 25-shot angled firework, and it features one of my favorite effects on the consumer market. If we get you an up-close shot of the performances here, you can see these like random 6 or 7 stars that shoot out of the main break. A lot of them have green or red colored tips, and it just makes for this really cool effect, which in recent years has been a little tougher to find. In fact, the only one I can really remember that produces an effect like you see in this cake is a firework called Victory Ring by Stargate Fireworks. It does kind of the same thing you're seeing here. It blows up in a ring. So I'm really interested to see if the Palm Pyro Pageantry Premiere will do the same thing as that. Next up, we have this one that is not by Phantom Fireworks. It's by Megalodon brand, and it's called the Nuclear Bomb. Inside you get 6 single shot fireworks. Are these gonna be canister shells or ball shells? We're gonna find out, but either way, you only get 1 firework per tube. So we're gonna test these out because I thought they were pretty cool. Some of the photos here on the side depict really large willows, brocades, and crackling effects. I don't know if we're actually gonna get that, but it would be cool if we did. On this side, it's the same type of photos. But yeah, essentially you get 6 of these tubes here on the inside, and each one has 1 singular break. Next up is this one here, the Phantom X7. This is a firework I've always wanted to light off ever since I was a kid. These used to be in the magazine type promos that you would get in the mail around the 4th of July. At that time, this was Phantom's way of getting you into the store. I mean, nowadays they just send you emails, but before you used to get all this stuff by mail. This is the one that always caught my eye when I was younger, and I've always wanted to light it off, but I never have. We have 7 exposed tubes here on the top, and the effects are as follows. Silver wave to red, silver wave to blue, silver wave to green, red palm tree, yellow palm tree, red peony, white glitter, crackling chrysanthemum. Hopefully these things will actually break and perform like NOABs, which, as you guys know, is a firework where you have 9 tubes on a board. The tubes here are definitely a lot smaller. I would say 1¼ inch in diameter. So hopefully we still get some really large breaks out of here. Now we just gotta wait for it to get dark outside and we'll shoot them all off for you. Well, here's all 6 of the nuclear bomb single shots by Megalodon Fireworks. We're just gonna start down here, go one at a time, all the way to the last one. So here goes the red or orange one. Oh my God. I didn't think they'd be that big. Beautiful. Phantom Fireworks, this is crazy. After that last one, we have to see the purple one. Wow. Yep, it's basically a canister shell in a tube. See the green one. Look at all that. You guys wouldn't believe how loud these are coming out of the tube. In my chest. Oh yeah. These will wake up the neighbors. The white or silver one, I think. I'm just gonna face it up this time so you can see the tail. Yep. I'm more impressed with these than most of the other stuff that Phantom comes out with. And lastly, for the single shots here by Megalodon, the gold one. Yeah, those are hefty single shots.
Feel them in my chest.
They get way up there too.
Yeah, they do.
So now we're gonna give this a try. This is the Phantom X7 Airburst. 7 shots in total. Looking like a weird NOAB. A 7AB. A SOAB. Okay, not the biggest breaks compared to the single shots.
Yeah, but they're good.
Some pretty fireworks though. Very symmetrical. No, at least that one wasn't. That it? I think that was it. Now this next one here is 25 shots in total, and it's called the Palm Pyro Pageantry Premiere. The quadruple P. Lots of P's. Here we go. Hopefully the wind doesn't mess with this one, but we're gonna find out. This should be the coolest one of the night. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's big time. I don't remember Phantom making stuff this good.
Dang.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yep, that's a solid one. Wow. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this little store tour and updated prices of Phantom in 2025. I got to admit, I've tried a lot of this stuff in the past, and these 3 items alone have impressed me more than a lot of the stuff I've used in previous videos. So well done, Phantom, for that. And yeah, 2025 prices might be a little high, but if you see these ones in particular, I'd say it's a good deal.